Looks like Arsenal in the remaining days for this summer transfer window to come to an end, they've gone ahead obviously put in a high gear to see to it that everything goes into their favor to compete favorably with Liverpool and with Man City stepping up their charge for the trophy, because as we speak right now, they're 6 points behind Arsenal and 12 points behind Liverpool. Arsenal are planning to raise the Benjamin Šeško bid to the required amount of money that the side of RB Leipzig really wants to obviously let this guy go. Miguel Almiron is a done deal to Atalanta, and Dier's deal at the side of Bayern Munich looks like it has gonna have to be addressed by the man that is really hugely responsible. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun to the fullest. And here we come in peace to bring you the latest news and information that you people are hugely waiting to get. How many likes? 300 likes on this video, third video of the day, and we are obviously going to be bringing you these stories, huge, all big and better. You understand? You get me clearly into the mix. Remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. If at all you need a used phone and a used laptop from the United Kingdom, go ahead and obviously subscribe. Sorry, go ahead and obviously call them on +256 70 9988 665. You will thank me later for what they obviously have to give you and bring to you in there as a side of Mono Gadgets. Then they also have affordable smartwatches. So they really have a variety. If at all you need anything, go and talk to them via that number on TikTok. You can as well search for them at Mono Gadgets and see the wide range of products that they have and inbox them on TikTok. You'll get an immediate reply from the lady that really runs that shop of gadgets that everyone is hugely talking about. Talk about town, that's why we bring it into your face. Now, Benjamin Šeško is one of those players that Arsenal has gonna hit obviously list down onto their winter transfer signings. You understand? And these winter transfer signings are really very important for the club of Arsenal, because when you look at how they are only having one striker left. You know, they are only having one burning candle in this windy weather, and the moment it burns out, Arsenal won't be having a center forward, and the only option they'll be left with will be to play Leandro Trossard as a false number 9 or Gabriel Martinelli, something that I don't really fancy to see Arsenal do in these games. And I know if you want to get a trophy, you obviously have to bring in players. You saw how Man City brought in Kusanov, Victor Reis, and Mamosh. And Mamosh will want to obviously have a very good debut, and then Kusanov really had a bad one, but the manager has gone ahead obviously explain that, and I'm here to soon bring it to you live onto this channel. Now, Arsenal and Benjamin Šeško, after his agent came out and told us that Benjamin Šeško, hear us out, Benjamin Šeško is not a player for a loan. The only way he can leave the club of RB Leipzig in the winter transfer window is when a team meets what we call his buyout clause, because it's already included into his contract, you know. And we all know that it's a 70 million euro buyout clause for Benjamin Šeško. And guess what? We've gone ahead to get a story coming from El Nico Cat that Arsenal plan on raising a formal bid of 70 million euros, that is 60 million pounds, for RB Leipzig frontman Benjamin Šeško. Now, Arsenal looks like they love this lad, and they've gone ahead to obviously show us that he's the lad they're really interested in. And that's why it's that most of the stories that are really so much positive about signing a forward are really rotating so much on Benjamin Šeško in the January transfer window, as it was in the summer transfer window of 2024. It is the same case in the winter transfer window, meaning that the scouts of Arsenal and the bosses of Arsenal have gone ahead obviously approve this to the fullest. And we all have to understand what exactly Benjamin Šeško brings to the club of Arsenal, because the club of Arsenal is so much into this guy, and they're like, he's the right guy to obviously bring in through the club of Arsenal. And for all those strikers that I've gonna hit to be linked to Arsenal, I've always gonna hit to come up and obviously tell you the truth that I've always gonna hit to obviously understand about what is really happening about Benjamin Šeško, because a lot is really in demand for the club of Arsenal. And I think in this winter transfer window, I've zeroed down to 2 center forwards. And the reason as to why I believe, the reason as to why I've moved on from saying that Benjamin Šeško is the favorite coming through at Arsenal is because he's not a Premier League proven player. Though he has the qualities to thrive in the Premier League, but he's not Premier League proven. And this is where I obviously say Cunha is the right guy to come into the club of Arsenal, because he's in the Premier League and he is a multi-dimensional player. For Benjamin Šeško, he's only a number 9. Matthias Cunha can lead the line. He can play as a left forward. He can play as a right forward. Something that Benjamin Šeško cannot do. And when you look at the amount of money that they can use to bring in Šeško, I think the same amount of money they can use to bring in Cunha to thrive into the Premier League. And the player is pushing to leave the club. Yet, for Benjamin Šeško, looks like he's thinking to leave when the right price comes in through. But for Matthias Cunha, I think he's ready to even put in a transfer request to join the club of Arsenal. Now, in these dying days of the summer transfer window, we will see what Arsenal will obviously come up to its compromise and see who they've gonna hate to choose to bring in through at the club of Arsenal and who they've chosen not to bring in through at this club. Because it's really one of those moments where you come up and really ask, why are they taking this long without bringing in a center forward? Because as I've told you, it's only Kai Havertz that they have who is leading the line. Other players might obviously come up and really not really meet up to the expectations of leading the line of Arsenal. And let them not be lied to that Kai Havertz is not an injury-prone player. And I'm going to hate to see Robbie today on FTV, and he was like insinuating, if at all this guy gets an injury, you know, that means Arsenal is going to be playing without a center forward until when he returns, or Gabriel Jesus. So Arsenal is risking, and this risk is really very bad. And when you look at how relaxed these people at Arsenal are, it shows you that they're like, we are going to do it when the time is right. But when is the time right? I think the time is right at the beginning of the January transfer window by getting in signings like you're going to hate to see Man City do. That they've brought them in and they're really doing the needful. So we wait and see how Arsenal continue to pursue the deal of Benjamin Šeško and whether RB Leipzig will be willing to let the player go and play for the club of Arsenal. But for RB Leipzig, we know it's really a selling club, and if a team comes with the right money, they'll obviously get in at the guy at 70 million euros. Remember, he renewed his contract in the summer of 2024, and the release clause, I think, was between, is it 70 to 75 million euros? One of those. And that's what Arsenal has to trigger. Now, we have to wait and see. Is Benjamin Šeško willing to come and play for the club of Arsenal? That is the hugest question that is obviously there for us to answer with very many big question marks. So that's exactly what went ahead to happen at the club. That's what's happening for Benjamin Šeško to the transfer, with his transfer to the club of Arsenal. Now, Miguel Almiron, who was linked to joining the Saudi Pro League, has left and is playing for a club known as Atalanta. Now, Fabrizio Romano has told us that Miguel Almiron leaves Newcastle to join Atalanta United. Confirmed, and here we go. Verbal agreement sealed between all parties, also player side on 4.5-year contract. Fee around 12 million euros from Almiron, for Almiron, set to travel for medical tests. Now, Miguel Almiron is one of those players that is not really getting into the starting 11 of Newcastle anymore. And when you look at his age, I think is now clocking, or is now moving north of 32 years. And I tell you, Newcastle don't believe that he's that kind of player that is going to take them to where they deserve to be. Because when you look at how Anthony Gordon is being played onto the side where this guy has regularly gonna hit to be played, it shows you that a lot is not working on well. When you look at his stats this season, he has only played 9 games out of the 23 games that Newcastle have gonna hit to play. You understand? Yet last season he played 33 games, 3 goals and 1 assist, and his best season at Newcastle was in the season of 2022-2023, where he played 34 games, scored 11 goals and put in 2 assists. That was Miguel Almiron. And Newcastle have reached an extent when they believe he's not the right guy to obviously start into their team, and that's why he was pushing to leave this club of Newcastle. And finally, he has left for Atalanta and is gonna be playing with the likes of Lookman, who is really doing the needful. And the manager had decided to obviously play Gordon and Murphy as his wide forwards, and he's not really getting in ample playing time. And even over the weekend, Miguel Almiron, he came off the bench. He was a starter and he cannot obviously get into the starting 11, something that is not really giving him vibes of really staying at this club, and he's like, let me try it out elsewhere. But when you look at Atalanta, the club where he has gonna hit to go to, I think this one is a club that really is better than Newcastle for me. One, looks like this season again they are gonna be going back to play into the Champions League. You understand? And they're also playing in the Champions League, by the way. In the Serie A, they are third with 46 points. Then in the Champions League, when you look at the table, Atalanta is 7th, meaning that if they happen to win their last game in the Champions League, that is going to be played either on Tuesday or on Wednesday, they'll go straight into the quarterfinals, and Miguel Almiron will get a chance to play in the Champions League again, because he played in the Champions League when he was at Newcastle, in that season of 2023-2024. And when you look at the Champions League, they are going to play, let's see, they are playing Barcelona. You understand? They are playing Barcelona. That's the team they're really playing. So, if they really get points, they'll obviously qualify for the next round of the Champions League. This is the quarterfinals. If they're beaten by Barcelona and other teams really win, they'll find themselves playing into what we call the round of 16 knockout, home and away. And we've gonna hit to see that they're a hard side to beat at home. So we wait and see how this guy is obviously gonna be doing his stuff at Atalanta, but Atalanta is really a very good side. So good luck to Miguel Almiron, and I know he's obviously gonna be adding a lot to the firepower of Atalanta, as they really have Ademola Lookman and very many others. They also have this other guy the Italian, Scamanca, who was a center forward at West Ham. That is it. So let's obviously get to Bayern Munich, and I think you're gonna hate to see from England to Germany to Italy, and now here we go to a club known as Bayern Munich, to the Bundesliga. And Max Elba, one of the big bosses at Bayern Munich, has come out and obviously had something to say about Eric Dier and whether he could still get a new contract. He said, Eric played a great game versus Freiburg. We're extremely happy that he's with us. At the moment, there are no talks yet. We are focused on this season. I don't always have to talk about contracts. It's a tiring topic. So, Eric Dier is one of those players that was brought in by Thomas Tuchel. And when Thomas Tuchel brought him in, he obviously partnered him with Matthias de Ligt most of the times, sometimes with Upamecano and sometimes with Kim Min-jae. But he really looked good and played well in that central defense. And that game against Arsenal, defended very well, even against Real Madrid, you know, before they got knocked out by Real Madrid. You understand? So, the club of Bayern Munich are not really thinking about it for now, but they say they are focused onto this season. And this season are really doing great. And when you look at the Bundesliga table, I think they're not doing badly like how they did last season, because last season they found themselves really looking bad. And they are now 6 points ahead of Leverkusen, Bayern, that is being managed by Alonso. They're having 19 games and 48 points. Leverkusen is having 19 games and 42 points. So, 19 games played, remember, their side they play 36 games, meaning that they are left with 17 games to see how things are really going to be panning out into the mix. But for Eric Dier, I think he has met his dream of really playing in such a side. And that's what we have for you in here onto the side known as the Rokani Media Football. And thank you for guys for watching in through. I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Arsenal planning to raise Benjamin Šeško bids. You know, what do you think about it? Is it right or not? And for Kuni and this guy, who would you obviously go ahead and obviously sign? Then Miguel Almiron leaving the side of Newcastle to join Atalanta. Do you think it obviously takes Atalanta to the next level, provided you know how Atalanta is really deadly into their squad? Because over the weekend they beat Como, that is managed by Šeško Fabregas, by 2-1, and Matteo Letegui scored a brace into that game. And Miguel Almiron will go into a team that plays a system of 3-4-1-2, and they have Ederson in the midfield. And I know the manager will obviously find a way to obviously play this player as Miguel Almiron into this side. Then lastly, your thoughts finally onto Eric Dier. Contract at Bayern Munich. Talks. All new contract hint has been given to us by Elba, one of the people who are now making decisions at the side of Barcelona. And sorry, I said Bayern Munich. And if at all I'm not mistaken, he might be the head of football affairs at Bayern Munich. I sign out for now. See you later. Bye-bye.